Good afternoon and welcome to the July 16th meeting of the Rotary Club of Brentwood. My name is Roger Greenup. Know most everybody, I think, but I'm filling in for Betsy, President Betsy, who is on a well-deserved 2-week vacation and will be back 2 weeks from today, I believe. So I have an excellent program today lined up, and so before we do that, let's begin. George Johnson will lead us in our opening prayer. Let's remember Tish Tisherman, who had hip replacement surgery, I understand, this week. Also Bob Bellenfant and Robert and Dottie Fiddler. After our opening prayer, Alan Treadway will lead us in the pledge and the 4-way test. And then Drew Rogers will introduce our guests and visiting Rotarians. So, George.
Let us pray. Our gracious Heavenly Father, Father, we love you and we are so grateful to you for your love and your kindness and your mercy and your grace. Father, thank you for all that you do for us. You give us the very breath that we breathe. Help us to give back to you, Father, through Rotary, doing good things in the world and in our local churches and just in our lives, to teach others about Jesus and to help others in any ways we can do, to care more about others than we do about ourselves. Father, please continue to bless those that are on our prayer list, Bob and Robert and Dottie and Tish. Please help them to heal. And Father, please bless our country in the turmoil that it's going through now. Bless it and help it to be able to continue to be a light for your gospel to the world. Please bless the 917 Society. We're looking forward to hearing from them today, and bless them and help them to teach our children love for you and love for our country. It's in Jesus' holy and blessed name that we pray. Amen.
You join me in pledge of the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And for the 4-way test, first,
is it truth?
Second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
Third,
will it go goodwill
and fourth.
will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Good afternoon, everyone. So you've got Major Downgrade, County Secretary, yes, and visiting Rotary. So my apologies. Before we start, I'm probably going to mess up names and I'm going to mess up the whole process. But the train wheels will get broken off within the next few weeks. I'm going to start with Chris Cummins, who is a visitor of our club from the Williamson County Schools.
Thank you guys very much. My name is Chris Cummins. I'm a teacher here at the EIC, an Entrepreneur Innovation Center program with Williamson County Schools. Some of you may have heard of it. It's a new program. This is our 3rd year coming up. We actually meet down at Franklin High School in the Canyons. So this is a real legit education program. We have 150 high school students from all 10 high schools come see us every day. We help them start a business. We teach them how to do everything from A to Z, from finance, accounting, marketing, legal, sales, promotions, the whole 9 yards. What I'm here to let you know about today is we can use the help of business leaders in the classroom. We have a mentor and guest lecture program that's organized with our kids. It gives those in the business field a chance to sit down once a month or so with the kids and just check in with them on the businesses, offer some encouragement, and some advice about how they're running the business. It's a very low impact commitment on the business side for those that have the time to have the interest in it. On your table is a flyer about our upcoming mixer, July 27th. It'll be in the evening down at the EIC. If you think you have an interest or know someone that might like to get plugged in, spend an hour or two a month with these kids and just learn what they're doing. It's just fun. It's a fabulous fun program. You can register with the link online. You can join us down at the EIC on the 27th. My information is on this flyer too, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. But I just want to let you know about that program and invite you all on the 7th. Thank you for the time.
Chris, you just turn around.
I'm afraid I've got to run. I have family in town, so I appreciate the invitation. I'll come back and run with you guys another day. All right? Thank you very much.
Thanks, Chris.
If you need Chris's email address, I've got it.
Yeah.
Well, tell them to see you on your table.
There you go,
Bye,
yeah.
guys.
Next we have Tertia Condi, daughter of Ted Elanchi.
Hey everybody, this is my daughter. She's graduated from Brentwood High and she's in BSc and going on to Mary Medical College to continue her studies. Hopefully, the goal is to serve the rural Tennessee as a back home. I'm very proud of her and I'm so happy she's staying here. Did not go to California.
So I've been in Brentwood most of my life. I went to Brentwood Middle High. I graduated in 1 year for everyone. Yeah, I'm really excited to do it. It was nice to do. I'm 40 minutes away, so I'm really happy. But yeah, I'm really excited about the opportunity and getting to meet people in the rural areas and get to live.
Awesome. Finally, we have King Rogers visiting their citizen from.
Thank you. I'm very glad to be here. I'm from Dyersburg, originally been in Memphis for the past, I guess, 30+ years. Our club has gone from as high as 140 down to probably about 40. And right now we're hovering around 95 to 100. So COVID took a loss, but we've come back pretty strong since then. I'm delighted to be here. I'm good friends with John Miles, and he spoke highly of this club. And actually, brought me as a guest for 15 years ago. Wonderful club, y'all do a very great job. Glad to be here.
Thank you.
Now, yes, busy Rotarians.
Okay, Jared Tanksley is somewhere in the room, and he has his wallet, his basket open, and so it's time for Happy Bucks.
All right, who's happy today? College football is 7 weeks away. Go ahead.
Just go ahead. I'm happy because my good friend Stuart Day gave me a call, said, "Yep, I went in for a routine exam and found out I needed triple bypass surgery." And he had it and he's fully recovered. So I'm happy because he literally went in for a routine exam and he was on the table like 3 days later. I'm so happy to send out his warm wishes to him that he's back in action. And I'm just happy he's back in. This is my third set.
Anybody else? Harold? Nobody's happy today. Okay. All right, I guess I'll just stop right here. That's it. Morgan, Brian, Laura, yes. Hey, here you go, Chris. Oh, hey, that's it. She was. I'm just happy. Larry's birthday was this week. I called him, wishing him happy birthday. He said, how many songs can you sing?
You know where my mind is. And it's 9 weeks till the doctor on, by the way.
Okay, which is a perfect lead in. Thank you, Jared and Drew, for introductions. As Larry just mentioned, the golf tournament coming up, we had comments last week that also, everyone's aware of the work that is being done on the inclusion playground. There is a meeting at the city, I believe it's City Hall, on the 27th of this month, which is a couple of weeks from this coming Tuesday, I believe. And which will be some a lot of good information shared with the community. So that's moving along. Sarah, I don't think there's anyone here from that committee. Okay, next. President Betsy at our installation banquet issued a executive order number 1 that says that each meeting we will have share some information, ask some questions about Rotary. Last week, she quizzed us on Rotary International. This week, we'll come closer to home, so this should be much, much easier than those questions last week. So easy that Alan Treadway can probably answer our first question. Which is, most everyone knows that Alan what we do. Which zone, Rotary has zones, all the clubs in each state, the states within the group of a zone. Which zone is our club in?
West.
Would anyone, it's a number, it's a number.
100.
65.
Okay, anyone else? Yeah, 30. Okay, zone 30. Another easy one. I want to try this one. Who is this year's district governor for District 6760? He was. And district governor.
That was 2 years.
Okay.
Michael.
Michael Mann, yes, okay. You're off to, over 2. What was the exact date our Rotary Club, this Rotary Club was founded?
73.
73, that is right.
October, it's October 7th?
October, I had here, October 17th.
17th.
Thank you, man. Okay, here's one that long timers will know. How many different venues has this club been to or been since we began? Sheila?
3.
Yeah, COVID doesn't. Zooming doesn't count.
Roger, are these permanent venues or temporary, one-time
Well,
venues?
some of them we met in more than once. Most of these we met in more than once. 9 different venues. And which was the only venue that invited us to never come back? I knew that would be okay, another one. Has Mike Barrett ever been district governor? Correct, but he has been assistant district governor. So I've forgotten the year being with you. This club has the distinction of having a number, probably the most district governors from this club. How many have we had and who can name them? 4 is right. Yeah,
John Miles.
yeah. John, Dick Bowers, that's right. Very good. Here's another easy one. Bob will know this one. How many years of perfect attendance does Roger Reed have? Probably the most of anyone in this club after John Miles passed.
47.
42 is close. I think it's more than that, but it's in the 40s. So, great. Do we have any charter members in this club today? For your information, Norris Johnson was not a charter member. He's been around here a long time. No, Gordon Gill was the last one, and he passed a few years ago. Couple more. When did we hold our first intake day? Which year? '79, that's right. How'd you get it? Wow. Excuse me. Okay. We had a recent, he's a past president now, who introduced a new pancake mix to our event. Devin, and what was the name? Frankenstein, that's right. Okay. That's right, Publix. And finally, name the member of our club who received the Distinguished Service Award for District 6760 this past year. Susie Lindsay.
Yeah, there she is.
Yeah, Susie's on Zoom. I think maybe DG Bowers is on as well. Okay. I think that's it, and I'm going to let Alan Treadway introduce our speaker for today. Alan?
All right, everybody, my guest speaker is Joni Moran, and she is the executive director of the 917 Society. And, you know, I see on Joni's Facebook all the time. She's got pictures with the governor and I think the president and everybody else. And I never knew really what 917 stood for. And I knew she knows the Constitution, top to bottom. It's incredible. I told somebody I was coming to lunch, I was introducing my speaker on the Constitution. They said, "Do you know the Constitution?" I said, "Yeah, we, the people of the United States." And they said, "That's the preamble." So she's going to talk to us about what she does, and you know, one of the most impressive things there, educating children across the country, 8th graders. This little Constitution book that you have, this year they've distributed 1.5 million copies of this to 8th graders in 14 states, and next year she's going to have 5.5 million copies of this distributed across the country to 8th graders. And I don't know what the total of 8th graders there are in the United States, but that's the ultimate goal, is to every 8th grader to have this document and know this document. And one of the things I was going to say, you know, there's so many times people say, "We know the Constitution," and You remember, well, I'm just gonna leave that to her to explain all that stuff. Jody Bronson.
Thank you so much for having me. You may not can see me, but I hope you can hear me. I was gonna have him go ahead and play a video, if you would, and just give you a little introduction, and then I'll share a little bit more in just a few minutes.
I've lost it. Is it the first one?
I think the United States Constitution is amazing because it sets lines for everybody. It is a guideline of the United States what life should be like, and is amazing because it sets lines for everybody. It is a guideline of what life should be like.
The Constitution is what ensures our freedom and our liberties, our individual rights. For over 200 years, the U.S. Constitution has stood the test of time. It has been able to provide the stability necessary for our government. It's important for every student, every person to understand the U.S. Constitution because it forms the basis for all of our rights. Without the Constitution, we would not have the right to bear arms, the right to a trial by jury, a right to the freedoms and things that we take for granted, such as due process, equal rights. Under the Constitution, every man and every woman is equal in the eyes of the state. It's important for you to know the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and everything connected to it so that you can fight for the things that have helped make America great.
I got involved in the project when a fellow senator, Kerry Roberts, and a good friend came to me and said, "Hey Mark, let me tell you about this project to help our 8th graders and other students in the state of Tennessee become aware of our Constitution, more than just aware, really to have an intimate knowledge of the beauty of the document, the wisdom of the document." And I thought, well, that sounds great. I want to be a part of that. The Constitution is sort of the foundation of how our federal government is to operate. And as we elect politicians, as we pass laws about how our government functions, all those laws, all those individuals have to conform to that document. And it's the people who are there to hold the laws accountable, to hold the politicians accountable to that document. So if they don't understand the document, if they don't understand what the Constitution is about, how can they hold the government accountable to the document?
I'm an immigrant. I'm an immigrant from China, and I escaped the communist persecution during Cultural Revolution as a teenager. Came to this country at age 21 with only $50, with a Chinese English dictionary, knowing no one in this country, but with a big American dream. And I've been very fortunate, I've been very blessed to have the education in this country to become a doctor. We have the problem that everybody does wants to come here, to live here. And first of all, we need to think about why is that the case? Why this land attracts so many people from all over the world, myself included, to have chosen to live here. And the reason for that is the safety, the peace, the security, the freedom and choice that it provides. And what is the foundation for that? It's the U.S. Constitution. It sets a structure that protects the citizens' right and limit the government power.
When I first ran for office, somebody came to me and said, "Have you read the Constitution?" And I had to be honest and say, not since I was in grade school or junior high, whenever that was. I couldn't even remember what it was. And so somebody gave me a copy of the Constitution and said, if you're going to be an elected official, you need to understand this document, because it's in these documents that it organizes our government. It tells us what the responsibilities of the various federal and state governments are. And without that knowledge, you can't do your job. When people read the Constitution, they may have different interpretations of it, but at least they're thinking about the issues of today. And all the things that we see in America, there's so much division. And we may disagree over what the Constitution says, but if we adhere to it, there's also a lot that would bind us together and pull us together.
The Constitution is a relatively brief document. It's about 1,700 words, and it's not really what makes the United States special, because you think about the fact that Bolshevik Russia, Nazi Germany, they had constitutions. What really makes the United States different is the spirit of liberty. It's enshrined in the Constitution. And the truth of the matter is, if we ever lost that spirit of liberty, then no matter how elegant or how long the Constitution is, we would not be the United States that we are today.
It is no small thing to build a new world, gentlemen. We have our republic. We must endeavor to keep it, if we can.
I'm going to tell you a little bit though about how I got into this. Because of course you saw a lot of the prominent people up there, but I'm just an average person. And I got involved in this project about 7 years ago. I was working in a retirement community, and one of the men who lived there had ran for governor in the 60s. He had been very involved in the civil rights project, and so he, one day we were debating a court case. Some people say argue, I say debate. And he pulled out a constitution out of his pocket. Just a little, handheld pocket constitution. And he said, "My dear," he said, "you realize that's unconstitutional." I said, "It is." And he said, "When was the last time you read your Constitution?" Well, I was embarrassed by my answer because I had never read the Constitution. I remember in 8th grade, Miss Alexander's class, we had bits and pieces, a few things to memorize, and that took a test, and that was it. My degree is in science. I had a degree in biology and chemistry, so when I was in college, most of my classes are science, and I remember having world history, but I didn't have anything with the Constitution. And so I thought, well, why? Why have I never read the Constitution? And so I thought, well, maybe it's just me. And I started asking everybody, the CEO of the company, the managers, the people in the kitchen, everybody. And I was getting the same answer. 99 out of 100 citizens have not read the Constitution. And I thought, wow, why? How do we change this? So I started asking teachers, what do you do for Constitution Day? Because that is what 9/17 stands for. That is the day the Constitution was signed into law in 1787. And as you saw on the video, where Ben Franklin, he mentioned at the end of the convention, he said he came out and he was asked, what do we have here? Do we have a monarchy or a republic? And his answer was a republic, if you can beat it. And so how many of you are a little bit worried about what's going on right now? A little bit concerned. Well, I have concerns about socialism and different things, communism coming in, and that's a disease. I look upon that as a disease, but this is our cure. And so God laid it on my heart that I had to do something. But who was I? I'm just one little person. I had no connections. I had no money, nothing. I was single. My ex-husband had been a public school teacher for years, and I had spent years as a social worker. So when I moved here, we ended up getting divorced, and so I was living on my own. I have 2 grown daughters, and so it was my first time to live on my own. I thought, how do I do this? But God would not let me sleep at night. I thought, I've got to do something. You know, I'm just one person, but I am one person. And one person can make a difference. So I started doing a lot of research about the Constitution, and I learned that there's a federal law. In 2004, there's a law passed that every school that gets federal funds is supposed to have a program on the Constitution on or around September 17th. So that's what we named our organization, the 917 Society, to honor September 17th. We want to raise awareness and make everyone know. So hopefully, if you don't remember anything today, when you leave, you'll know that 917 stands for September 17th, Constitution Day. And so as I started researching, I learned about the law, and I started asking teachers across all the different states that I knew, because I had been around teachers a lot with my work and with my husband's work. And I said, what do you do for Constitution Day? Silence. They just looked at me. We didn't know what there was a Constitution Day. Very few did anything or even know about it. So I thought, how do we fix this? How do we change it? And so I began thinking about, well, what can we do? And so I'm going to tell a story because I am from rural Alabama, if you can't tell. And when I was growing up, how do you know of the Gideon's organization? It's a wonderful organization. Well, I grew up and we received different colored New Testaments. And I remember the green ones and the red ones. Do any of y'all remember that? A lot of you may not be old enough, but I am. And I remember seeing the young people sitting in the hallway reading their New Testament Bibles when the man from the Gideons would come. Now, I grew up in a Bible Belt, and everybody had a Bible, but it was the fact that it was given to us at school. It made it a big deal. And I thought, our Constitution, this is our American Bible. You know, this is all about our country and our family. So what if we gave our young people a Constitution? And so on your table, each one of you have one of these. And I want you to pick it up and I want to share a little bit about it. And so we want to make Constitution Day a really big deal. So when you open it, you'll see the teacher signs and dates it. The kids sign it. You know, put your signature on something, it creates a sense of ownership. And that's what we want to do. We want our young people to feel a sense of ownership to the Constitution. And then, of course, we have the Constitution, we have amendments, we have the Declaration, and then something really special. So while I was working on this project, and I thought, you know, this would be a really cool thing to give these to the kids, I was invited by some of the people I work with. 3 people came up to my desk and they wanted me to print the citizenship test. And so I printed it out for them. 2 were from Ukraine and 1 from Jamaica. And they were getting ready to become citizens. And so I looked at that test and I thought, wow, I don't know if I can pass it. And how many of you looked at the test that people have to take to become citizens? And you have, and I thought, wow, I don't know that I can pass it. But I gave them the test, and then when they went and took it and they were becoming citizens, they went to the federal courthouse to take their oath. So the very last page of this, at the very end, is our oath of citizenship. And so our children, once they've done their Constitution Day studies, now on top of the Constitution booklet they get, online we have all kinds of resources. We have lesson plans, we have videos, we have games, we have the 1776 Commission that came out with their curriculum. So we have all kinds of things that teachers can choose from to use that day on top of giving the kids the constitutions. But it's so encouraging when you saw the video to see kids reading the Constitution, because that's the very first thing. And I was telling them earlier, when you pick up your phone, you know, we're so used to everything being digital, everything on the computer, but when you pick up this, the kids are like, it's a book. Now, everything they have is online, so this is really cool that they actually get a book to carry with them. Now, we do have, before we leave today, I'm going to show you over here on this sign that talks about our project I will share in a minute. There's a little QR code in the bottom corner. If you would like the Constitution downloaded to your phone, just go up here, the QR code right there, and you will get the 917. You'll have this on your phone. So you can have it with you whenever you don't have your actual physical copy with you. Now, we don't give the kids the QR code right now. We want to make sure they get physical copy. And so, as I started working on this project, and when I went to the courthouse and I watched them take that oath, it really affected me because I realized in my moment in my citizenship, I had never taken an oath. You know, I live in this wonderful country. I have all the wonderful things that this country gives us, and yet I have never sworn an oath. And so it really moved me to watch all of the new citizens taking an oath. You know, what a cool way for us to honor, you know, our country is to take that oath and create that moment in their education where they realize they're a citizen and this is our guidebook. And so when I first started, as I said, I had no money, no connections, I didn't know anybody, but I had a map. And I decided to use it. And so I started asking everyone, and Senator Kerry Roberts was actually the first person I ever talked to. I had never talked to a senator. I was really nervous. And he embraced what we were doing, and he started introducing me to people. And so we started raising money. So our first year, we gave out 25,000 of these, which was awesome. And I was so excited, and it was in Tennessee. The second year, 50,000. The third year, 90,000, which covers all of the 8th graders here in Tennessee. And so last year, we started branching out into other states, and we reached out to 200,000, reaching North Dakota, reaching Tennessee and Kentucky. Now, we've been very blessed. We're forming partnerships with other groups, and your organization here can become a sponsor of our organization. The AMVETS organization, is anybody familiar with AMVETS or a member of AMVETS? AMVETS helps us to deliver. And so I'll be meeting with their national convention in August to talk about them adopting all 50 states so we can reach our goal to distribute all 50 states. And so this year, we are distributing, in August, we're distributing 1.5 million constitutions across actually 15 states now, because Maryland has jumped in. And so we're so excited about that. And it's really an honor and a blessing to be able to be a part of this. Now, this is my passion project. I don't get a salary when I'm 17. I've already have another job that I work, but this is something that is so near and dear to my heart. Because, you know, when God lays something on your heart, you just gotta do it. You know? And I promised him if he would just open the doors, I would walk through the doors. And anytime I think I can't keep doing this, God will open another door. And so I feel very blessed to have that opportunity. So you can get involved. Now, we did, in the last 3 years, we have served Williamson County. How many have kids in school? Okay. How many have grandkids in school? Okay. Are most people here in Williamson County, or is this part Davidson? Most Williamson, okay. And private schools. We serve private schools, home schools. We serve public schools, with our main focus being public. But if you have a private school you want to help to sponsor, we can do that for you too. So right now, we're in the very end of our fundraising, and we're finishing up raising the last 50,000 to pay for our printing. We have everything printed here in Nashville. We don't go overseas. That's very important to me that we don't do that. We also don't take state or federal money. We rely on individuals. So it's a We the People project. And so you can get involved. You have a gold card in front of you, and that gold card just tells a little bit about the different things you can, levels you can sponsor. But to give you a breakdown, it's like $100 to sponsor a school, and that provides for the printing and the distribution to that school. And so you can do usually a district or about $500, and a county is about $1,000. So that kind of gives you an idea. But we also have something called founders. So a lot of the folks on the video there are people who are founders, and they commit $1,000 more a year to helping us because our printing budget is pretty big. But we believe it is so important for our young people to have an actual copy of the Constitution. And you know, this last year with COVID and all the things going on, I never thought about it. I really didn't. But with a flip of a button, words can be changed. They can be changed. And it's so important that we make sure our kids receive the actual words of our Constitution and read those words. And that's something I never thought about until I saw so much of everything online this year. So it's been very interesting. But we would love to have you to get involved with us and to help in any way that you can. But there's lots of other ways. In front of you, you'll see a sheet that has a sign-up sheet. I do a newsletter, so I'll let you know every week. I send out a newsletter where we're going to be, what's going on. So if you just like to get the information, just sign up. Just give us your email. We keep it private. We don't sell it to anybody. We keep your emails, and we will let you know what we're doing, where we're going to be, you know, what our goals are. We'd love to have your help with that. So just you can circulate those around if you'd like to sign up with the email. If you want to donate, of course you can, but you can also volunteer. You can be a volunteer to take constitutions to the schools. And so mid-August, we'll be getting volunteers, as Alan said. Facebook, I'm out there all the time saying, we need a volunteer in this county or that county. And so you can jump in and help if you would like to volunteer. It's a fun way to get involved and feel like you're doing something and giving back. And so we would love to have any help that you can give us. We appreciate it. Share us on social media. Or let's say you leave here and you know somebody that you think this would be a great fit for them. Maybe it's somebody who has a foundation who wants to donate. It could be a business that wants to sponsor. Tell them about us. You know, share it. You can actually, when you download the Constitution, you can actually share that, and it has our website on there. And we can just start a chain and share it with everybody. But now I want to open it up for questions so that y'all can ask me anything, because I know we're getting late on time. So, yeah.
So you mentioned that you don't take federal funds or anything like that, or state funds, but you're looking to get into all the schools legislators. So how does that work within the school district? Allow you to do that statewide, or do you have to go to county, or how do you get into schools?
We focus county by county, but it is a federal law that they're supposed to have a program. And here in Tennessee, we even got a law passed that makes it Celebrate Freedom Week. And so we're going to have some big events coming up. And so y'all please sign up for our newsletter, because we have a 20th anniversary event on 9/11, to honor 9/11 here in Williamson County. We've also got our 5th annual Constitution Day event on September 17th coming up. And so that's how we were able to get into the schools, because we have a laws passed. And so we have federal law that supports our project. Even though we don't get the funding for it, it's mandated. And so they're supposed to have a program. So we don't really have any problems, because when we share that, you know, about the federal law and we provide a free program, the teachers love it and the principals like it, because they like to be able to have something free for the kids. And I learned that being married to a public school teacher, because I used to have to raise money all the time for different programs and things. And so this way, the teachers get this for free, and they love it. They love getting free things for their kids, so it works out really well. Any other questions?
Joey, I'm a big fan, because I bought a case of these from you a couple years ago, and I literally just keep these around, and it's just, we face so many issues right now, and just this single book, I hate to go over this tonight. It really adds a lot of mass and just simple understanding of how important it is to like solving all of our problems right now. We just went back to basics. So I really want to give you a round of applause for what you've done as a founder. Like, well done, really well done.
You know, it really is a tip. I appreciate it so much.
I have a question. So I'm gonna buy another case. All right, tell me and others when they buy a case, you know, what are those other things that we should do? And what are the barriers you run into typically? How do you get around those barriers? It just allows us all to go out and be, you know, effective.
Well, thank you so much. And that's a great question. Of course, our big barriers are fundraising. That's something we need, is we have to, you know, raise funds. And also letting others know, because, you know, we don't have a huge marketing budget. So a lot of people, you know, unless I'm out sharing, you know, with you, you don't know about it. And so if you can share it with other people, share it with your business associates, your friends, your families, let others know how they can get involved. And if you believe in our Constitution, you love our country, then you should want to at least participate in whatever way that you can, whether it be sharing it on Facebook, social media, email, however you can do it. That is a huge, huge help for us, is to let people know who we are, what we're doing, and get involved however it works for you or your budget. Any other questions? Yes.
Thank you so much. I think this is an awesome topic. I think with get involved with this. I have a question. What about out of state? Like I'm originally from Ohio, and I'd love to get back to my local high school and town. So how would that be?
That's a wonderful question, and we'll be in Ohio next year. And so you can be a volunteer in your county where you grew up, or your hometown, and you can help coordinate getting deliveries out to that area. And that's a wonderful way. If you're from a different area, you can help us, because we're meeting people. I've been traveling all over to different states, meeting people to sign up as volunteers. And so that would be a perfect way to get involved. Or you can sponsor the schools and coordinate deliveries.
Okay. One of the things here, have you, or maybe anybody else, you haven't seen it, I would go on YouTube, but I give you guys the link. It's called the Star Spangled Banner, like you've never heard it before. I cannot tell you guys how you guys will watch this. I will never ever listen to the national anthem ever again. Like even telling you now, like it gives me chills. It is amazing. Someone was cutting onions when I was watching it, still in there.
That's wonderful, because I did post that on my Facebook, and exactly which one you're talking about, and it is a beautiful story, and we're starting to know. Any other questions? Any other questions? Maybe anything.
How much is it?
Okay, well, if we add distribution and printing, it's around $100. And that'll cover school, most of the time. Of course, it depends, but that's just gonna average it out. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Johnny, and God bless you for what you're doing. Best of luck to you. Before you leave, I have a book that I'd like for you to sign before you leave. And this book is one that we read to first graders in our community. So if you'd please sign that, that'll be a remembrance of your visit here. Thank you very much. Also, before we conclude, I just want to thank Larry and Linus and anyone else who helps set this meeting up. It's a little bit different than I remember whenever I was president, but thank you guys and anyone else bid your name. I think that is it. I just have one thing to add, and we'll conclude. Betsy, as you know, last week, she said this year she wants to conclude each meeting with a thought for you, and in keeping with Johnny's presentation, I have the following quote from John Adams, who said, "But a constitution once changed from freedom can never be restored. Liberty, once lost, is lost forever." So just take that with you. Thank you again, Johnny. Thanks to our guests and chairs against the wall, tables in the back. Okay, thank you, Larry. And if there's nothing else, we're going to Rotary. Neil, one last thing.
I'd like to ask that you say some prayers for my son and the people in Manitoba. My son's been a Catholic priest down there for 15 years. We were able to communicate with him a couple of days ago and he's safe, but it's a real miss. Thank you.
For sure, yes, thank you. Okay. We are adjourned.